She is one of America's most loved television stars, and 2 years ago, she courageously came on this stage to reveal a devastating diagnosis. Valerie, we want today to be a celebration of you. You have terminal brain cancer, and you say again, not why me, but why not me? You've even said in some ways you see it as a blessing. How can you get that diagnosis and still put one foot in front of the other?
I'm living in the moment. I really want all of us to be less afraid of death. And don't before the day of the funeral.
Let's all give a warm welcome to Valerie Harper.
Better.
You know what's interesting, Valerie, is I'm often asked of what my most memorable or one of my most memorable moments has been hosting this show, and I often cite your visit to this stage because of how courageous you were. And in that moment on this stage, you had been given a few months to live.
Yeah.
And your candidness was so special and pure and true. I want to thank you for that. But I think Valerie's also your living testament to never giving up.
You don't give up. You listen to your doctor. Having these new moves forward with medication. The Tarceva I've been taking, and I've also been doing the acupuncture, but really it's Cedars and the doctors that 2 years.
Well, that's the beauty, is giving us
it is working.
I mean, the combination sort of created your own therapy.
That's right. My husband's a huge part of that. Tony kicks me out of the bed and we go down to the beach. We live by the beach, walk. You do your half an hour or whatever.
And he keeps track, make sure you're taking all your medicines.
Oh, does he ever? Yes, he said, did you take the Keppra? You've got it. Oh, no, he's really tenacious about my care and about me not eating sugar, Dr. Rachel.
Ooh, I love that. You know, you have such a recipe for survival here, but one thing that we have to say is, I mean, your hope and your spirit probably is a big part of what's kept you alive and so healthy. Valerie, did you think you would 2 years later still be alive? Or did you agree? Did you think, okay, I only have a few months left. Let me do this. Let me do this.
Yes, I really did. I thought, well, one day at a time, one moment at a time. And my doctors kept getting so surprised. And Tony.
You showed them, didn't you?
Yes.
You're probably going to outlive them.
The doctors have to what their experience is. And what I have, most people are, you know.
Well, I mean,
leptomeningeal carcinomatosis, that's not a cancer that most people are familiar with. And
right.
It's also just a sign that medical advances are occurring each. And you mentioned Tony, your husband. For those of you that didn't watch Valerie's appearance, Tony, who I just saw backstage, has been such a supporter. And I remember he came out on the stage because he knew he had so little time with you, or at least in that moment, that he didn't want to waste a minute.
That's right. He won't come out this time.
Well, I know. But I thought that
he doesn't know what's ahead.
But what the magic here, since we got her back on to me, Rachel alluded to it, is the positive spirit of this woman and the support of her husband. To me, is as meaningful as the Tarceva and the Tim Messenger on.
Yeah, and I got very lucky. And the #1 cancer killer of women is what? Lung cancer.
It dwarfs breast cancer.
Oh, dwarfs it.
And they occur in women and men who have never smoked.
That's right.
So
I'm one of them.
Just you.
Yeah. And my mom before me. But that's how that works with they say the genetics, yeah. And the environment is behavior, which includes smoking.
And so one of the blessings that Valerie's situation exemplifies is that we're finding more treatments for cancer. Would you stick around? Because we have some headlines. I think these are going to really be appropriate topics.
I would love to. Look at this group.
This first
Who wouldn't love to be here?
You've heard of fighting fire with fire, but what about fighting disease with disease?
Polio, one of the world's most contagious and deadly viruses, is making a comeback not as a disease, but as a cure. 7 years ago, scientists discovered that the polio virus attaches to cancer cells and kills them. But the virus could not be used as a treatment because it would infect the patient. But now a new hybrid of the virus has been created that targets cancer cells, leaving the rest of the body healthy. Duke University has begun testing the new polio virus on humans, and results are as nothing short of a game changer.
Oh, yeah.
I have such cool stuff.
It is truly remarkable, and this study was done by the Preston Robert Tisch Brain Tumor Center at Duke. This, to me, is maybe the most exciting thing I've heard in cancer research.
Because what they're actually doing is tricking your body into being able to actually attack the cancer cells, which has been the problem. It's like the cancer outgrows our immune system.
Exactly.
So to kind of get our
hungry cancer, have some of this.
Yes.
So the polio virus, everyone, it literally will go into the cancer cell, then your body's immune system responds and says, kill this cancer cell, and it does in many cases.
The future and the present of certain types of cancer therapy. It's immune therapy. We hear the terms targeted therapy or personalized therapy, and we've seen other viruses used before to attack cancer. We've seen smallpox, HIV even used. They're using polio virus that can't cause paralysis or death because it's been re-engineered. But boy,
genetically engineered.
Been modified, right? But boy, it goes on a seek and destroy mission.
And sometimes shooting it into the tumor.
That's right.
Valerie, can you imagine being able to treat cancer without the drugs and the side effects and the key?
It's going to be wonderful. And there's a lovely doctor, Soon Xiang. I think he's at St. John's. He said in 5 years, cancer is going to be viewed as a
Chronic condition.
Yeah,
I hope so.
I do too.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's so huge. It might be 10 years.
Well, we have a long way to go in this particular situation. 8 patients with the modified polio virus. 3 patients improved over the last few months. 3 patients is too soon to tell. 2 haven't responded as well. So we have a long way to go, but there's certainly a lot of hope. Now, there are things that we know aren't good for us, right? Fast food, not healthy. It's not the way to go. Well, a new study suggests that tempting burger could be the perfect post-workout fuel.
If you're craving fries and soda after a hard workout, then feel free to chow down. That's the message being relayed after a study at the University of Montana proved that fast food was just as effective for muscle recovery as traditional sports supplements like protein bars and sports drinks. The UM researchers analyzed 11 male athletes, half of whom ate fast food, and the other half who ate sports nutrition products while performing a 90-minute workout, followed 4 hours later by a 12-mile bike ride. Even though muscle biopsies and blood test results came back as a statistical tie. Many skeptics are wondering, could fast food really be good for you?
And everyone watching, this is why you read the study, not the headline.
Yeah.
You parse this through and you realize the flaws.
The methodology with this study has about as many holes as a piece of Swiss cheese. First of all, it's 2 small numbers. You know, in medicine, we like huge numbers.
Only
Number 1, 11. Number 2, they're elite athletes, so guess what? They could eat dirt and still respond well. And number 3, the parameters that they checked physiologically, like muscle glycogen, lipid levels, insulin, glucose, they're not going to differ within 4 hours or 6 hours or even 8 hours. You put those elite athletes on that. You put those elite athletes on that diet for 3 months and then do those tests, then maybe you'll see a difference. But elite athletes or even a super fit people like Dr. Travis here that I know, don't put that kind of thank you.
Yeah.
Don't put that poison in their bodies after they work out. They eat that's their fuel, and they take their diet very, very seriously. So I think that
and I have to say, I've learned so much hosting this show, because I can tell you that about 7 years ago, we're fed that were considered these sports nutrition supplements. They're the ones I would use to eat, but not anymore, because they look like that. And You know, nowadays, I go for all-natural post-workout food. Post-workout tip, go for a bowl of, say, Greek yogurt, twice the protein of normal yogurt. Throw in some blueberries or blackberries. If you had a hard workout, add a little bit of honey, toss some cinnamon in.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away. If you make sure
with some fiber.
That's my mother. I mean, I'm old. You guys are babies. But that's what we were told, and it still holds true.
Yes, sirree. Well, who doesn't want to get rid of crow's feet, the smile lines? Because they show your age. But there are other places we age, and they may be even worse. Are you having issues with them? Well, we're joined by cosmetic surgeon Dr. Alexander Rivkin in our procedure room. He's revealing the uncharted territories of aging with Terry, who incidentally works tirelessly for our show as the assistant to our executive producer. So, hi, Terry. You excited?
Hi, Terry.
Now, Dr. Rivkin, you talk about some problem areas that maybe we don't pay any attention to.
So, Terry's great. She's beautiful. When she was a teenager, her face was full, and her eyes were the central point of her face. She had no hollows around her face to distract attention away from the eyes. And she's still beautiful. But depending on genetics, as we hit our 30s, our face starts to hollow. And the temples, the cheeks, the forehead, they all start to hollow out. So for her, there's a little bit of hollowing in the temples, a little bit of hollowing right around the cheeks, a little bit over here. So just little bits, little details. But the point is, the nice thing is about these kinds of injection procedures is you do a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, and the sum total really improves the person's appearance, makes them look 5 to 10 years younger in 30 minutes or less.
Dr. Rivkin, you're going to fill her up, a little volume. What are you going to use to fill her up?
I'd like to use Voluma and Radius. These are great products. They're FDA approved, very safe, make her look fantastic.
Doctor, now, are you going to use all 20 of those syringes up
No
there?
way. This is just in case.
Is this going to happen right here, right now?
This is going to happen right here. It's going to happen right here, right now.
Tara, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go ahead and turn back time. Tilt over here like this. Great.
Did you pre-numb her in any way?
We actually didn't, because we want to make sure that there's no swelling and everything is normally. And also, there's lidocaine inside the syringe. So all these products come with lidocaine already. So pain is...
Really quickly, Terry, how are you feeling?
I feel fine. Fine.
Like admittedly, you look like you're kind of nervous to have this done, but you're going to spend some more time with Dr. Rivkin. Are you feeling good about this?
I'm feeling good about this. I'm excited. I'm very excited. You know, I've seen the aging process happen drastically, and you know, you go past them. What the heck?
No.
Well, you look great, Dr. Rivkin. I know you're going to finish the procedure, and then in the show, Terry gets to show off her new look. And Valerie, you're going to stick around as well. I know you have a new project.
I would love to stick around.
We're going to discuss Valerie's new project later.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Coming up next, an athletic superstar struck down with a debilitating disease.
She's been to the point saying, you know, just cut it off, just amputate it.
And later, Valerie Harper's secret project you'll see only on the doctors. That's later. Amazing interventions.
It's incredibly concerning to us to see a child that's 9 years old headed in only one direction.
Amazing transformations.
Do you want a tighter tummy or thighs by summer?
My jeans just slip right on. I love the results.
And amazing recovery.
You've had the surgery.
How do you feel now?
You've helped me live. And you have my life.
All day long. The war against pesticides.
Cancer associated with food raises concern.
But Making Headlines is here to answer the tough questions.
I'm the scientist, and I'm also a mom.
And you feel 100% comfortable knowing that every day of your children's life they're...
Samantha was an extremely active person chasing her dreams when an accident took it all away.
My name is Samantha, and I'm 23 years old. Growing up, I was an extremely active person. I was a competitive gymnast.
She spent 20-plus hours a week practicing.
I was state champion multiple times. Out of high school, I enlisted in the Air Force.
She was so excited. She worked really hard to get there, get her whole life, her future planned out.
basic training. I was running, and right as I crossed the finish line, the pain in my legs so bad I collapsed. They took x-rays of my legs, and they said that I had fractures from the knee all the way down to my ankle in both of my shins. The doctors told me to stay off of my legs for 3 months, and they placed me in a wheelchair. My job was to go out on the flight line and refuel the planes. But being in a wheelchair, I was stuck doing paperwork. The left leg never fully healed, and I was left with constant pain. A doctor diagnosed me with CRPS, which is complex regional. I have been in excruciating pain, a pain I never could have even imagined. Anything touching my leg feels like sandpaper on a sunburn. It's debilitating. I can't do anything. As a result, I was now being medically retired from the Air Force, literally having my life ripped out from underneath me. I haven't lost hope. There has to be an answer, but I'm desperate. I'll do anything to get my life back so I can live a life as a normal 23-year-old.
We're now joined by Samantha as well as her mother, Kathy. And Samantha, I'm sorry you've been through so very much at this young age. What is it like day to day with the level of pain?
Just a constant burning pain. It never goes. The softest blanket at night rolling over it, or even wind hitting it. It's trying to put on pants. It's like rolling an iron, a hot iron up your leg. There's been days where the pain is just so bad. Every move I make is excruciating that I just think my life would be better if I didn't have that limb anymore, because it's the worst pain that anybody could ever feel.
You know, we've talked about CRPS on the show before, and the first word, complex. It's a complex problem, very difficult. It could be difficult to diagnose, very difficult to treat. We actually sent Samantha to pain specialist Dr. Timothy Davis to try to find some answers.
I've heard a little bit about your backstory. What kind of treatments have you had?
We did several nerve block injections, spinal cord stimulator, which didn't help that much. Currently, I'm taking oxycodone, 15 milligrams, 4 times a day, and that helps a little bit to where I'm able to get out of bed. Not enough to really live my life.
What can you do actively with this leg?
That's here, that is using every effort and muscle that I have.
I had a chance to review your records, and one of the main concerns I have is you have a history of a couple of blood clots.
The first one was right after the compartment syndrome test. Recently, I was in the ER with shortness of breath. They found 6 or 7 small blood clots.
I have a couple of potential options. Before we can even go into those, we have to make sure you're healthy. I need you to see 2 specialists. If you can see both of these specialists and we can get you tuned up, then I think we can probably offer you something to help with your leg pain.
You know, as so often happens in medicine, after Dr. Dusk, he had some concerns about Samantha's health when she revealed that she had 2 blood clots, one right after her injury, then another blood clot 2 months ago. The reason that this is a big concern for those of you watching is when you develop a blood clot, let's just say in your leg, a deep vein thrombosis, that blood clot as it forms has the potential to break off. The other concern is for someone like Samantha is why is she getting all of these blood clots? But because if she went in and had anesthesia for 4 hours, for instance, she could potentially develop a blood clot. If it breaks off, goes to the lung, pulmonary embolism can be life-threatening, if not deadly, because any area beyond that blood clot, blood flow does not get to. Dr. Davis was concerned, we were concerned, so we put together a team of specialists to see if Samantha has any blood clots or if she's at risk for developing them while under anesthesia.
Today what I'd like to do is to order a full complete workup of your blood analysis to see if there's any underlying tendencies for you to develop blood clots spontaneously. I would also like to do a CAT scan of your chest to make sure there's no residual blood clots left over from a few months ago, and also the CAT scan of the venous system called the CT venogram of your legs. And if any of those are positive, then we can sit down and talk about what it means for you.
Thank you.
Dr. Davis, as you know, referred you to procedures that are required to help you with the pain in the leg.
Okay.
We're going to do 3 tests for you today. The first one is an EKG, which shows the rhythm of your heart. Then we're going to do an ultrasound of your heart, otherwise known as an echocardiogram. And finally, we're going to do an ultrasound of the leg to make sure you don't have a vein thrombosis or a clot in the leg.
Okay.
You look concerned.
Just with the ultrasound of the leg, because anything that touches my leg, from even having long pants to the wind blowing on my leg, is extremely painful.
I understand. I'm going to help you through this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
For her to let them do that is very brave. She knew the amount of pain that was going to cause. That just was fixed. She's been to the point saying, just cut it off, just amputate it. That's how bad the pain is. The pain is.
And Samantha, I know recalling going through all those studies, very scary. You don't know your results yet. And we're going to reveal Samantha's results when we return.
Coming up next.
I haven't lost hope. There has to be.
Desperate and afraid, it's Samantha's last chance for a cure. And later, Valerie Harper's secret project you'll see only on the doctors. That's later. Coming tomorrow.
Some doctors are becoming cosmetic surgeons in a weekend.
In fact, you could be getting liposuction from a dentist.
I am so glad we are having the discussion.
That's tomorrow.
During basic training, a doctor with complex regional pain syndrome, I have been in excruciating pain.
I'd have a couple of potential options. Before we can even go into those, one of the main concerns I have is you have a history of a couple of blood clots.
They found 6 or 7 small blood clots in my right lung and one bigger one that was blocking the airway.
I need you to see 2 specialists.
Today what I'd like to do is to order a full complete workup of your blood analysis to see if there's any underlying tendencies for you to develop blood clots spontaneously. I would also like to do a CAT scan of your chest.
We're going to do 3 tests for you today. The first one is an EKG, which shows the rhythm of your heart, then the sound of your heart, otherwise known as an echocardiogram. And finally, we're going to do an ultrasound of the leg.
I haven't lost hope. There has to be an answer.
A routine exam to help a young woman with chronic pain uncovers an issue that certainly could threaten her life. Samantha joins us, as well as Dr. Timothy Davis and her mother, Kathy. Now, Dr. Davis, what do you think is going on?
You know, to understand complex regional pain syndrome, it's a short circuit of the nervous system. Certain nerve fibers start carrying pain signals that normally wouldn't carry pain signals. But one of the things with being immobile quite a lot, it's kind of hurting you. And so I know you're trying to get out there. You're trying to be involved in the gymnastics, but still spending a lot of time in bed, the wheelchair. You've been in the wheelchair for quite a long time. And then that kind of leads into the blood clots. So the more immobile you are, the more risk you have for the blood clots, and the worse it makes your situation, the complex regional pain syndrome.
So you were concerned initially with obviously her pain, but then you noticed her history of the blood clots. That allowed us to bring in some other members of the medical team to get this full evaluation. Now, cardiologist Dr. Rani was unable to join us, but he did inform us that after performing an ultrasound on Samantha's leg and an echocardiogram, that he thought her chest and heart were held to her leg that would keep her from being able to go forward with any treatment whatsoever. Now, radiologist Dr. Britt Somerville and hematologist Dr. Eli Gabayan join us right now. From a radiology perspective, you want to rule out any active blood clots or concerns, and what did we find in that evaluation?
So after doing a combination of CT scans and ultrasounds to look at the chest, the abdomen, pelvis, and her legs, I can safely say that I have no evidence that she has any active blood clots currently, which is excellent news.
Awesome. And Dr. Gabayan, with the history of having blood clots before, there's always this idea of deficiency or a genetic reason why she's having clots. What did you find with your testing?
And we did find two different abnormalities, one called protein C deficiency and the other one called protein S deficiency.
So you have protein C and S deficiency, which makes you more likely to clot than the average person, but that's something that can be medically managed. Wonderful news to know that you have it.
That's correct.
Dr. Davis, back to you.
There's numerous types of nerve blocks that can be done. I do believe that sympathetic ganglion blocks in succession, 1 week apart, a series of at least 4, can likely go ahead and start to curb this, but it's going to take consistency, right? And I'm willing and have pledged to go ahead and do that for you. It'll be no cost to you. So if you're game.
Absolutely.
All right.
To have any sort of treatment options is exciting.
That's good.
Samantha and her mother will have to fly in from Reno for 4 treatments, so we reached out to Cabo, an innovative travel accessories company. We're actually joined by their founder and CEO, David Sternlight. David, thanks for being with us.
Samantha, we're really inspired by you and your story. On behalf of Cabo, we'd like to give you and your mother, Kathy, a check for $4,000 that will help cover your travel expenses to and from your appointment. Additionally, we have a couple of care packages for both of you that have some products that will hopefully make your travels a lot more comfortable. They include our Evolution pillow, our Fold and Go blanket, and our infused fluffy socks.
Thank you.
So Samantha, what I would say to you is, never give up hope. You're in great hands. And this is one of those things where you've been through so much, but I truly believe you reached out to the show for a reason and that you are on your way to feeling better. And I have to thank Dr. Davis for the entire team. Thank you so much for your help. And safe travels, Samantha, and thank you for sharing your story. Kathy, thank you as well. We'll see you soon.
Coming up next, Valerie Harper's secret project you'll see only on the doctors. And later, a scent that could help you quit your bad habits once and for all? That's later.
248.
Valerie Harper is back with us, and she has a cool new project.
Packages. And this lovely lady calls my husband and said, I have a similar situation of getting a sort of a death sentence, and I have a documentary, and would Valerie like to narrate part of it? And I said, God, absolutely. I went met her, and she's marvelous. Her name is Cindy Abbott, and her movie is called Banner on the Moon.
And we actually have a clip. Let's take a look.
I went through a series of doctors. They would give me drugs and guessing at what was causing my vision loss. I went through all the spinal taps and MRIs. I went through a couple of different doctors till they diagnosed me with retinal vasculitis. My doctor said, there's something else going on in your body.
Cindy finally has an answer, one she's been seeking for 14 years. Diagnosis: a rare, incurable, life-threatening disease known as Wegener's granulomatosis.
We sort of reevaluated our priorities, and we just decided this is it. We took off for the summit of Everest. That was my goal. It just really helped fuel my my fire. They go, okay, now that you've done that, what are you going to do next? Run the Alaskan Iditarod? And I'm like, well, yeah.
1 year after Alaskan Wilderness, Cindy successfully completes the final qualifying race, securing her a spot in the Iditarod.
To me, there is an end, and it's the finish line of the Iditarod.
And the subject of inspiring film, Cindy Abbott joins us. I'm going to join you.
Yes!
The Iditarod? Are you serious? Are you serious?
Unbelievable!
And especially, you know, with Wegener's granulomatosis, is so rare. You probably haven't heard of it, but a really scary illness.
It's very complex, but in the simplest form, my immune system is trying to destroy my blood vessels. So you can imagine this is not a good scenario, and why I'm functioning blind in one eye and I have all these other problems. Anyway, when I finally contacted the National Organization of Rare Disorders, NORD, and I said, I'm going to climb Mount Everest, and I want to do something to help raise rare disease awareness, and so I'd like to hold the banner on the summit when I get there. And
you did.
I did.
Here it is.
This was on the top of Mount Everest.
This was on the top of Mount Everest.
Travis, touch it.
You can touch it.
Oh my, this is cooler than touching the gold medal.
Huge, right?
How about this? We'll show some footage of it, and then you can tell everyone how long it took you to cross with your sled dog. What was it? How many? 13? That's Everest
This is
here.
Everest.
Everyone knows how dangerous that is.
There's Iditarod with those wonderful...
Iditarod is how many miles, Cindy?
It's 1,000 miles
How many
across
days?
the Alaskan wilderness, and it took me 13 days, 11 hours, 19 minutes, and 51 seconds. There's my babies.
Yeah.
And you bring all your medicines with you and make sure...
Everything we have, it's a no-assist sport, so it's me. I have that sled. That's all I'm allowed to bring. We have resupply places in the villages. So yeah, all the medicines I had to have a carry in my sled all the time. I take medications a day. Then those medications, because they suppress my immune system, I have to have another set of medications to treat any infections I get. And
so if you're going to bed at night and you're asking yourself, what's holding me back? Remember Cindy's story. I want to say this to both of you two ladies, both diagnosed with rare diseases, don't really have a cure. The two of you have continued to live your life. I'm so happy that you can share your stories, with our audience.
I'm so inspired by them.
So, banner on the moon. Ladies, thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up next.
Could the key to looking younger be in an unexpected place? Could the key to looking younger be in an unexpected place on your face? That's cosmetic surgeon Dr. Alexander Rivkin's theory. We put it to the test with Terry today. And so these are areas that people don't often think about.
Yeah, because it's interesting because as we get older, the face gets hollow in various little subtle spots that we don't think about, but when we look at someone in our mind subconsciously, they sees all that stuff.
So what all did you do here in terms of?
Filled a little bit in the temples, filled a little bit here. We brought the angle over here of the jaw out just slightly to give a straight line over here and over here, and so just all over, little bits all over the place.
Yeah. And how long do we expect these to last?
So I use volume radius. I expect these to last a year and a half, a year, between different places. So these are great facilities.
Terry works with us here on the show, and you really haven't seen it yet, have you?
I really
Let's
haven't.
do a little before and after for everyone at home first.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, let's do a little side profile view here.
I'm so happy.
Good.
A cougar on the prowl.
Boy. It just shows the cool things that we're doing now without going under the knife, no anesthesia, other than the local.
Can I add something?
Yes.
It really was not that painful at all. He's awesome. And I'm very happy.
First rodeo.
Thank you. And Terry, you look fat. We'll be right back.
Coming up next, a scent that can help you quit your bad habits once and for all. Plus, everyone at home has a chance to enter to win the Word of the Day giveaway. Find out what it is. That's next. Tomorrow.
Teenage girls are killing themselves. It's that serious.
That doesn't raise my brows. It should.
How Amber Rose is fighting back against sexual bullying.
What do you think's the best way for people to deal with this?
And
some doctors are becoming cosmetic surgeons in a weekend.
In fact, you could be getting liposuction from a dentist.
The smell of powerful scents can actually help improve your health.
Yeah, you know, and something that's really helpful if you're trying to stop smoking is a scent of black pepper. So with black pepper oil, actually what you do is you can kind of, when you feel like you want to smoke, you kind of inhale a little pepper oil, and what it does is it kind of burns the back of your throat, kind of mimicking that same feeling you get when you take a drag off your cigarette. And the scent of pepper is kind of like a stimulant, which makes it obvious why it helps you with those withdrawal symptoms. So if you're having trouble stopping smoking, you've tried everything, try a little black pepper oil inhalation. And one other little tip, if you're having trouble sleeping, what scent do you need? Well, jasmine, you said it, jasmine, yes. Odors actually have an effect on our nervous system. It actually can make you feel more relaxed, have less anxiety, and researchers actually say it can help performance on cognitive tests by helping students and athletes get a better night's sleep.
That may help you sleep, but be sure your plan is in a safe spot away from bees.
Did you say bees? That's our word of the day. Today's word of the day giveaway is the Heaven Age-Defying Cream and Silver Bee Venom Mask, reported to be favorites of Princess Kate, Victoria Beckham, and Gwyneth Paltrow. Okay, so this skincare package is valued at more than $300, and all you have to do at home to win is enter bees.tv.com. Now, if you're allergic to honey or bees, you got to skip this one. But for everybody else, it's pretty fantastic.
Yes, you are going over it! More when we return.
Coming up next, a surprise sabotaging your weight loss can be found in today's doctor's prescription. Plus, how do your favorite stars stay healthy? Find out in News in 2. That's next.
Closed cap. Hey everyone, if you're heading for Hollywood, California and would like to sit in our studio audience, log on to our website at thedoctorstv.com or call area code 323-THE-DOCS. That's 323-THE-DOCS for show tickets. Do we have a good time? It's National Women's Health Week, an observance led by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. We've teamed up with Women's Health Magazine to remind you to empower you to make your health a priority all week long and beyond. And now we are bringing you a special edition of the Doctor's News in 2 just for you women. In the May issue of Women's Health Magazine, the doctors, myself included, salute Women's Health Week. In the issue, I call it tips and tools to put your health first. Women's Health is on stands now, and on Friday's show, the magazine's deputy editor is here about switching up your superfoods. If this is what Women's Health Week means, I'm a fan. This is really good.
You want to be famous?
I just want my work to make a difference. John, read.
That's Whiplash star Miles Teller being heroic in the new Fantastic Four film. But art imitated life this week when the Whiplash star made a dangerous riptide in Miami. Rip currents can form in any large open water area, especially near piers, jetties, and breaks in sandbars. If you're caught in a rip current, the Red Cross recommends to stay calm and don't fight the current. Swim parallel to the shore until you're out of the current. You should also always check beach conditions for warning flags and ask lifeguards for hazards. On John Oliver's Mother's Day episode of Last Week Tonight, the political satirist hit on the topic of unpaid maternity leave, citing the United States as being one of the only without any guaranteed of paid family leave. Because of this, he says, many career moms end up burning through vacation and sick days, racking up credit card bills, and taking unpaid leave. Back in January, President Obama took executive action to offer at least 6 weeks of paid leave to federal employees after the birth or adoption of a child. The president also wants to spend $2.2 billion to help states and cities develop paid family leave programs. And that's today's News in 2.
Brought to you by Everyday Health.
Who wants to get more out of their workout?
Of course. I think I'm getting enough out of it.
You are, girl. You are.
All right. So check this out. What you do before your workout may be the key. Research shows people who rush from their busy jobs straight to the gym and don't take any time have less productive workouts. Why? Mental challenges get in the way of overcoming physical challenges. You burn more with a fresh brain. It's why so many people say morning workouts are the best for them. But if mornings aren't your thing, they're not mine. Here's my doctor's prescription. Just make sure to take a few minutes, just a few minutes to clear your mind and relax before your workout. You may run faster, lift a little more. You may find yourself more dedicated. That's my doctor's prescription. Rachel, We hope you all enjoyed the show. As always, head to thedoctorstv.com.